Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to discuss femur. Femur is the longest and the strongest bone of human body. It is a long bone, so it has an upper end, a shaft and a lower end. For side determination of femur, we always look for its head. It is always directed medially, and we always look for a line which is present posteriorly. A line which is very prominent here, you can see this line is known as linea aspera. It is always present on the posterior surface of femur. So if we place it posteriorly and we assume that the head is medially, so this is the bone of the right side. This is the right femur. Now it has an upper end, a shaft and a lower end. Starting with the upper end, here we have a head which is a rounded structure here. This is the head of femur. The head has a pit or a depression here which is known as fovea capitis. So the head bearing a fovea or a pit. Then we have a neck over here. Then we have two prominences here. If you can appreciate this prominence here and another prominence here. So after the head we have the neck, then we have a prominence here. This is known as the greater trochanter, and a small prominence here. This is known as the lesser trochanter. On the anterior surface between the two trochanters we have a line which is known as the intertrochanteric line. So intertrochanteric line is present on the anterior surface of femur between the greater trochanter and the lesser trochanter. So this is the intertrochanteric line. The greater trochanter has an anterior surface, a medial surface here and a lateral surface here. It has an upper end, a lower end. If we go posteriorly, we can see that the greater trochanter is here and the lesser trochanter is here, and this is known as intertrochanteric crest. So intertrochanteric crest is a crest or a line or a prominence between two trochanters on the posterior surface, while the intertrochanteric line is on the anterior surface. So intertrochanteric line on the anterior surface, while the intertrochanteric crest, it's like a crest here on the posterior surface. In between the intertrochanteric crest, we have a tubercle which is known as adductor, which is known as tubercle, which is for the attachment of a muscle. Okay, then moving over the shaft, we have the shaft is smooth and rounded anteriorly, and posteriorly we can see a prominent line which I already told you. It is known as the linea aspera. It divides into two lips, superiorly and inferiorly, into a medial lip and a lateral lip, and downwards it forms the medial supracondylar line and lateral supracondylar line. On the lateral side of this linea aspera, you can see a tuberosity over here. This is known as the gluteal tuberosity, which is on the lateral side of the linea aspera. The lower surface of this shaft between the medial and the lateral supracondylar lines is known as the popliteal surface. Okay, now focusing on the lower end of the shaft, lower end of femur. The lower end of femur has two condyles, that is the medial and the lateral condyle, and we have prominences here which are known as the supracondyles. So these are the supracondyles and these are the condyles. This is the medial supracondyle and this is the medial condyle. This is the lateral condyle and this is the lateral supracondyle. Okay. We have a depression here or a groove here between the two condyles on the posterior surface. It is known as intercondylar fossa. Okay. Moving over muscular attachments. Starting with the upper end, Now you can see some red lines here and some blue lines here. So red lines denotes the origin of the muscles, while the blue indicates the insertion of those muscles. Okay. So if we focus on the upper end, we can see this is the head. Here is the fovea, which is the groove. This is the neck over here. Focusing over the greater trochanter, lesser trochanter. Now greater trochanter, we can see here there is a muscle, there is an insertion of a muscle here. This is gluteus minimus. And over here, if we turn the bone, we can see another insertion here, which is of gluteus medius. Okay. If we focus here, we can see insertion of 3 muscles. 3 numbers are written here. It denotes the insertion of 3 muscles. So those muscles are obturator internus and superior and inferior gemelli muscles. You can see over the medial surface, there is another number over here denoted, which is the insertion of obturator externus here. Okay, here you can see the insertion of quadratus femoris. This is the lesser trochanter. Over the lesser trochanter, there is insertion of iliopsoas muscle, that is the iliacus and the psoas major. Okay, these were the muscles of the upper end. All were the insertions. Now over the shaft, on the anterior aspect, we can see 3 major muscles here and another muscle over here. These are the origins. So laterally, we can see the origin of vastus lateralis muscle. It is over the upper end, or it is originating from the upper part of the intertrochanteric line. So here is the intertrochanteric line, if we assume. So this is the upper end. So vastus lateralis arises from the upper end. Here you can see a major part, which is the origin of vastus intermedialis, and here on the medial side you can see the origin of vastus medialis over here. Capsular ligament is attached along the length of this line. Okay, another muscle here gets originated, which is known as the articularis genu, which gets origin from just below the vastus intermedius. Okay, on the posterior surface, we can see, as I already told you, this is a lesser trochanter, and iliopsoas major gets, iliopsoas muscle gets inserted over here. Just below iliopsoas, you can see another muscle here. This is the muscle insertion of pectineus muscle. Okay. Then we can see just lateral to pectineus muscle, here there is another insertion, which is the insertion for adductor brevis, and just below adductor brevis there is another insertion for adductor longus. Just lateral to that, over the lateral lip of linea aspera, you can see a long muscle here. This is for adductor magnus. So this is the insertion of adductor magnus. Just lateral to it, lateral to adductor magnus, and over the gluteal tuberosity, you can see an insertion over here. This is for gluteus maximus. So gluteal tuberosity over the lateral side of the linea aspera gives insertion to gluteus maximus, and just below the gluteus maximus you can see another red line here, which is the origin of biceps femoris muscle here. Okay, moving towards the lower end, you can see this blue insertion, that is the insertion of adductor magnus, which we already read here, that adductor magnus gets inserted over here along with this lower end medially, and these both are the medial and the lateral heads respectively for the origin of gastrocnemius. So gastrocnemius is also another muscle which has a medial head here and a lateral head here, and these both are the origins of that medial and lateral head respectively. Okay, here we have another muscle originated. This is the plantaris muscle. It also gets originated from just above the lateral head of gastrocnemius, and we have another muscle here, popliteus, which also gets origin just below the lateral head of gastrocnemius. So these were the muscular attachments of femur. Thank you.